Beginning at line 114 in Book 4, we see Juno's reply to Venus, leading her on. Venus knows precisely where all this is going. She simply wants to see how Juno plans to do it. Now, one of the first things in this passage that I hope you'll notice is the preponderance of one particular verb tense. Can you just with your eye glance through and see which tense seems to pop off the page at you with the greatest frequency? Give you a hint. It's this one, and this one. Where else is your future perfect, right? What else do you see just scanning ahead? Just scanning ahead. Bo, ient, tegentur. That's right. Tewenient, yungam, bo, erit. Those are, of course, all future tenses. So there's an awful lot that Juno has in mind here. All right, as we begin, mecum eritis de labor. If you remember, Venus left off saying, "Oh golly gee shucks darn, I really don't know if Jupiter wants all this to happen, but you're his wife. Maybe you can talk to him." Juno says, "Indeed, I plan to." Then she says, "Now, qua ratione in the ablative, by what ratione all this is about to happen, with a few words, paucistictis." Parenthetically, she says in an imperative to Venus, "Pay attention, docebo." And here's the plan, starting here. First word of the line, venatum, a hunt. Aeneas, and together, miserrima Dido. Ooh, how many different ways have we heard Dido described now? Add miserrima to that, and in this context, I mean, for heaven's sake, so you glance down, we see again Hymenaios, and we see miserrima. Those two words shouldn't go together, but yet here they are, and you'll see how they do. Okay, so they prepare, they parent to ira into the nemus. When? Here's the when. This is just a very, very lovely way of expressing a sunrise. Please make sure you can read all of those details. So when that happens, Juno says, "I," and then an accusative direct object with a couple of ablative endings that go together there, and an accusative. What rhetorical device would that be? And what's the significance of using that? Please come to class ready to discuss that. And at the whole time, while something else is going on with a que, so that's where your two clauses divide. That's very hunting specific language. Take your time in looking that up. The vocabulary is a bit complex, but the grammar is quite straightforward, so you should be fine on 121. De super, from above. I will, she says, infundam, and take the words in the order that they come. With tonitru, the entirety of the sky, omne, is the neuter that describes Kylum there. I will kiebo. Now we have a third person plural verb. They will. All diffugient. Here is a nominative plural, a nominative third declension. That will be the subject. So they will diffugient, and they will be something or othered by the nocte opaca. Okay. Speluncam Dido dux et Troianos eandem te venient. There is much happening in this line. I'm going to ask you to pay specific and close attention to the word choice and the word arrangement. I'm going to ask that you be prepared to talk about that in class. Oh, I missed a future tense. Adero. Okay. I will be there in the spelunkam. Make sure you understand that vocabulary, what that means. And Juno continues to Venus. If your voluntas are certa to me, meaning Juno, I will verb them with a connubio stabili, and I will call it propriam. Hic hymenaios erit. How is it then at the very end here that Venus replies? And what hint of things to come does that suggest? Moreover, as you consider the bargain that these goddesses have now struck with one another, please be prepared to discuss at what point were Dido's best interests ever entered into in this conversation.